Hey, Dave Mipson from The Body Shapers, and I got something really cool for you in this video. I want to talk a bit about flexible dieting for fat loss and what this concept actually is, because in my opinion, it's probably the best way to not only get body fat off, get leaner, lose the weight you might want to, but actually be able to keep it off. And I want you to actually just imagine if you could find a system that helped you get the weight off, get the results you want, without feeling like you're restricting yourself, without jumping diet to diet, without feeling like you've got to sacrifice your entire life. Because that's what I've heard so many times. I'm here in my studio where we coach women on how to get in the best shape of their life and lose fat. And the story I hear so often is, I've lost weight before, but I wasn't able to maintain it. And often, in my opinion, the reason that happens is the approach that people take is almost setting themselves up to fail. And there's actually heaps of research on this, that when you follow a very rigid approach, a very black and white kind of system of, okay, stop eating all these foods. Let's pick a diet, right? Let's say something like the keto diet, very popular right now. The keto diet is super low carb and high fat. And they just pretty much say, hey, don't ever eat all of these carb-based foods. And maybe you've tried that yourself, where you've cut out all the carbs. They work for weight loss, and they work because you eat less and you're probably gonna lose weight. But they're so restrictive, a lot of people aren't able to stick to it. And so as soon as they stop doing that, for whatever reason, holidays, social life stress, lose motivation, the weight comes back on. And that's why I really am passionate about going through this. And this is kind of the system we actually use with our clients that helps them get incredible results. And we have hundreds of before and afters and testimonials to showcase how it works. And it's almost very personal to me, because when I was younger, I lost a lot of weight when I was sort of like high school age, like end of high school, and it was incredible. It was so transformative. It gave me so much confidence. It changed my life. But then I got very extreme with it, and I started being very black and white with how I saw food. It was either, okay, this is healthy and it's gonna help me lose weight, or this is unhealthy and I can't touch that. And I had a bit of a disordered eating kind of pattern going on, and it was all because I saw things very rigid, very like, all right, this is healthy, I must eat this, and as soon as I touch that, I'm good, and if I touch the other stuff, I'm going to reverse my results, gain weight, and it made me struggle mentally. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, and this is why we teach our clients who come to our gym and work with us, we teach them this, and I want to give it to you today so you can understand how to apply it. So, flexible dieting is essentially a way of looking at eating and dieting that, again, allows you to have some flexibility with not just like what you eat, and we'll talk about that, but it's a lot about how you see food and dieting in general. So I've broken it down to kind of three main things. This is the three things we do with clients that helps them understand this and makes it all work. So let me break that down for you really nice and simple. The first kind of core concept of it is what's called energy balance. Fancy way of saying your body, if you, let's say you want to lose weight right now, you're watching this and you're like, all right, Dave, tell me about fat loss, how do I do it? In terms of the big picture concept and principle, each day you burn a certain amount of energy. Let's say you burn energy this much here. That's from living, moving, training, eating, all that stuff. Energy balance means when you then consume food, you can either consume less than that, which creates what we call a little deficit, which is how you lose weight. If you eat the same amount, you will stay the same weight. That would be maintenance. And if you actually eat more than what you burn, then you would, of course, gain weight, unfortunately. So the key principle to understand with flexible dieting, firstly, is that getting weight off is, big picture wise, a game of energy balance over the long term, meaning over the course of weeks and months, you have to consistently burn more than you eat. You create that deficit and your body goes, crap, I need energy, and it gets rid of it from fat, and happy days, you start losing weight, clothes start fitting better, and everyone's a winner. So energy balance is kind of the key. When we understand that, we can kind of step away from going, well, okay, can I eat this food or that food? We love this question. Our trainers bang their head against walls sometimes, hearing this question all the time, going, oh, can I eat this or can I eat that? And the answer is, you can eat what the hell you want within context of the energy balance, because if your body burns 2,000 calories a day and we go, awesome, Susie, let's eat 1,600, as long as you maintain that 1,600, if you want to fit a piece of bread in there, brilliant. If you want to not fit a piece of bread in there because you want to be super healthy, go for it. You have that understanding of it, but it comes back to the energy balance side of it. And every single diet, of every single weight loss strategy or approach or methodology or anything you've ever come across in your life that actually works, essentially sorts out your energy balance one way or another. They get you to eat less by either cutting out food groups, by cutting out times of the day you eat, like fasting. They make you detox, which is often just not eating anything, which again, energy balance, you're gonna definitely be sorted there. Or it's like excessive training, which just ramps up how much you burn. So understanding that is really key concept to making sure you get what the hell we're doing here. And we show clients how to work that out. And actually at the end of the video, I'll give you something if you want to learn more about how to work out your energy balance, how to work out how much you burn, and then how much you should probably be eating. I've actually got something for you at the end, so stick around. The second concept, which I kind of touched on there, is moderation. And so I mentioned there with the analogy of like, can I have a piece of bread? Can I have a piece of bread? We hear this word a lot. We hear, okay, everything in moderation, but most people do not apply it or understand what we mean by that. And so coming back to my example before, again, if you've got 2,000 calories is what you burn, and so we've set a goal of 1,600, and we're pretty confident you're gonna lose some good weight on 1,600. Again, you can fit what it is you like to a certain extent within that goal, but you actually have a tangible structure to that. It's not just like what's a moderate amount of alcohol? It's different to you versus me. Moderate for me might be very different to someone else. What's a moderate amount of chocolate? Again, it might be different to me, to someone else. It's a very subjective term in nature. But when we actually start monitoring things, which is what we do in the flexible dieting system, we monitor how much you're eating, we can go, cool, you can have a glass of wine a night. A glass of wine might be 180 calories, and if you fit that in to your 1,600 calorie budget, like go for it. We have so many like case studies, before and after photos, people's results, and in our program they lost the weight and they had a glass of wine like 3 or 4 nights a week. I was like, that's cool. You don't have to cut that out if you want to lose weight. Can you have a whole bottle of wine every day? Probably not, because you're probably going to overshoot your calories, or if you stay under your calories, you are going to not be able to eat any proper food. So this system allows moderation done in the right way. Because we have some framework, we have some boundaries, and you can enjoy yourself. And if you want to go Saturday night out with the girls and have a big meal, you can still use moderation in a sense of going, well, maybe I'll budget some extra calories for that. You could do that on the day, you could do that earlier in the week, you could even the day after back off a little bit. But again, it gives you some structure towards it. And if you think about life, like let's say you're saving money for a holiday, right? Often people do, we save, and we go on a holiday, and what do? In the 2 weeks we're in freaking Europe, we spend a large majority of the money we saved, right? So we save, and then we spend big. There's nothing wrong with doing that to a certain extent with your food on a smaller scale. On Monday to Friday, save a little bit, and then Saturday, you go out with the girls, have 2 glasses of wine and half a pizza, and you're okay because you saved earlier. So again, it gives us a structure to actually employ moderation properly and then enjoy your life instead of going out with the girls and going, sorry, I'm on a diet, feel like crap, feel bad for having to say you're on a diet, not enjoying yourself. And sometimes it's frustrating when you don't feel like you've seen the results and you have to tell people you're on a diet, and that is no fun. And the final piece of the puzzle is consistency. And I'll add something to that, and that's to not blow out. And I think this is really important, just again from lots of examples working with people where they're going good for a long period of time, and then as soon as they go a little bit off, they go way off. E.g., we're sticking it perfectly. I haven't, keto again, right? I haven't touched my carbs in 3 weeks, and then I have one bite of like a piece of bread, and it's like, fuck it, give me the whole loaf, right? When you have a rigid approach to dieting, when you have this kind of do this, don't do that, as soon as you feel like you are not doing that and you've gone the wrong way, the tendency, and it's just a psychological thing, is just to overshoot. Because you've been restricting yourself of that thing, and as soon as you have a little bit of it, you're like, well, I've already blown it, so let's just go for gold. And the best analogy ever for this is, imagine if you were driving and one of your tires got popped, and then you're like, well, screw it, and you pop the other 3 just because one's popped already. It's hilarious, but that's the analogy, is the metaphor of what we do with our eating often. And so the super important key to realize for this is, let's say you do have a bit of a blowout, and you're like, screw work today, and the kids are annoying, and my cousin's bugging me about some family crap, and you just pissed off, and you go smash a tub of Ben & Jerry's and 3 glasses of wine, and you way overshoot the energy balance, right? That's okay. Maybe you went over by 1,000 calories, like you went really hard. When we look at this system, we go, all right, I went over by 1,000 calories. What if I just pull back by 300 calories the next 3 days? Cool. Now, I'm back to where I was. I haven't really done that much damage, and I continue on, and I don't just go overboard. So again, it gives some objectivity to that stuff, to go, yeah, I went over, but I went over by like this amount. So it's not good or bad. I just went over by a certain amount, and I can pull it back in if I want to. And again, it just helps you stay level-headed and level-minded, knowing that I'm not on my diet, I'm off my diet. It's not I'm going well, I'm going bad. It's like, okay, I was sticking to it perfectly. Now I've gone a little bit off, but I can get back onto it very quickly. And the thing is, your body and your results is going to be the summation of all those little decisions that you make, and all the summations of like, do you go a little bit over, a little bit under, a little bit over, a little bit under. And if you can just be aware of it, you can be more mindful about those decisions. So I hope that makes sense and you're kind of getting it. If this is making sense, awesome. You can still get what I'm about to share with you. If it's not making sense, then definitely grab what I've just put together, which is essentially a flexible dieting cheat sheet. Okay, a little downloadable where I'm going to talk you through a little bit more how that all works. I'll share with you like the process we use with our clients and how we get them fantastic results without making them just cut out everything they love in their lifestyle. And also a bit of a how to get started on this. Like, how do you work out like what should my sort of goals be? How much am I burning? How much should I be eating? How do I monitor that? What's the easiest system to do that? We'll actually give you all that stuff. We'll give you some sample calorie plans, and it will just help you on your way with using this system. But it's literally what we've done with hundreds of clients, and it works extremely well. And if you understand these core principles, you can get results, you can enjoy life, and you can stick to it when things go crazy. So if you're interested in that cheat sheet, I'll just get you to comment on this video or send us a message, however you're watching it. Comment on the video saying, I'd like the cheat sheet, and I'll send you the flexible dieting cheat sheet, and you can get started with that. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions or just found this interesting, please comment below as well and let me know how you found it. If you stuck it out this long, I appreciate that as well. I'll see you next time. Bye.